7 vacant units. All right, keep going. Sorry.
No, you're good. So then basically just based off of that and do 25. Was this one going to assume a loan?
No, not necessarily. I'm not sure if that's a possibility or not.
At 50% operating expense, you're like negative 14.
K a month?
Cash on cash for the year.
Got it. Just like every other deal out there, they're not going to want us to buy based on what it is. They're going to want us to buy based on what it can be. Alright, I'll keep you updated. This will be one that we keep working. I don't think we're going to get on a contract right now. And they're going to have trouble finding a buyer for it. Alright, we're here at a 34 unit apartment complex in Austin in 78723. Good part of Austin, it's about 10 minutes from downtown, 10 or so minutes from the Domain, 10 or so minutes from Tesla. It's a good location. We own one property over here in this area. But this is listed with a broker relationship that we've had for a while. We're coming to check it out. I think we're gonna see 2 units today. We got some community members joining us so that they can learn, tag along, ask some questions. They all analyzed the deal yesterday, or at least they were supposed to. But this one's interesting. It's 34 units. It's got some vacancy. Its rents are below market rents. Could be because the units need some work. Maybe management isn't doing a great job potentially. But they're all studios, so average unit size is about 471 square feet. Pretty small. Market rents maybe around 1,300 or so. Right now they're bringing in about 800 or 900, so pretty far below market rents. But we're going to come in here, speak to the broker, see what questions we can get answered. It's about $120,000 a door, which is pretty cheap here in Austin, but they are studios and the financials don't necessarily support that price either. At that price it'd probably be kind of hard to get a loan. It's about a 3.5 cap rate currently. So we're going to come in, we're going to check it out and see what information we can find. But just another deal that we're tracking and working, and we need about 100 more of these. If you're interested in learning more about buying properties like this, the entrepreneur community and the entrepreneur method, hit that link in the description and come check it out.
Courtyard type model. I saw nice ones. I have them written down, but like there was several that had been redone and refurbished and were done well. You know, not just like a lipstick and blush, like a good remodel. 1,100 would be high, really.
Yeah.
1,150 to compete.
Right.
So there's some room, but not a tremendous amount.
Not a ton of room, no. So then the let me look at the
right per unit. Yeah, I didn't see that. No. They have one room that's like rented out for like 600. Did you see that? And there's one room that's like 1,000, and everything else is like 850 to 950.
Yeah, and duplexes are going 13 to 15 for 1 bedroom, 16 to 17 for 2 bedrooms. Crestwood and Sage Hill comps. Sage Hill were projects within the Bermuda Triangle here, specifically on the north end of the Bermuda Triangle. So I joke around that this little area here because it's trapped in by all the, so it looks like a triangle. But on the north side of it, I only kind of pulled what was on the north third of it.
Even resale for duplexes, there's not a lot around here. I found, I think, 2 that were like right next door to each other, and they were 500,000.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them down this road right here. I think it's Linda Avenue.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see them on the
Near Loma.
Maybe they
There's
weren't.
one right here with some duplexes. There's Andy. He's a new community member. He's supposed to be joining today. He's got, it's 5 units. It's a triplex and a duplex. 2 lots right next to each other, under contract right now for 1.2.
So I don't know if I did this right, but the underwriting though, it's not going to cash it.
No, not as is.
Not with upgrades either.
Here's the thing, they never do at what they want.
They're not gonna. It's not gonna cash flow with
so
forced appreciation. What do you call it? When you're able to
increase the NOI.
Yeah.
So that's the question is, how do you make it work?
Even with $1,100 in rent, it's not going to cash flow.
So what does that tell you about our movement today? So he knows that, right? Broker knows that. He's not stupid.
We need to know why he's selling.
Seller knows that. So it's the way that we play this is like, man, we love this property. We'd love to pay $4.3 million. I just don't even know if we'll be able to get a loan on it. Like, how do you think we can make this work? How can we not lose money on this? How can we get a bank to lend on it?
Yeah.
So
Always play it like, man, I love this property. This is such a great property. This is perfect location. This is exactly what we want. Build them up. But then you're like, how do we make this work?
Yeah.
Because he knows it's gonna be.
Sure.
So since I haven't gotten a loan for something like this before, if you can't show the bank that you're getting cash flow, will they not give you a loan, or like how?
The bank's gonna look at the asset and they're gonna say, does this meet our DSCR requirements? Is this going to service the debt based on the financials? And if the answer is no, then they're not going to loan.
Right.
All right, so he wants to sell it for a new project.
Yep.
And so this one, they just kind of.
He never did a ton here. So some of the units we're going to go in today are going to have stainless steel refrigerators. Not part of a value add plan. These were just leftover refrigerators from one of the student housing projects. So there was really no plan on going in and renovating units. He just turns them when the lease expires.
Right.
Charging all the units, every one bedroom is the same rate, every studio is the same rate. There's no value add strategy that he's running right now. Right. So he's kind of just slumlord ran this thing for the last 5 years now. 2019, I'm like, yeah, it's like 2 years ago. It's not, it's like 5 years ago.
We lost 2 years.
I know. It's crazy. But so what you'll see consistently is popcorn ceilings, vinyl wood floors, Formica countertops.
Yeah.
The appliances are a bit of a hodgepodge, but mostly white and black appliances. Cabinetry is in pretty good condition, but I think you could look at potentially refacing the cabinetry if you wanted to spend the money on it. We're recommending from a value add perspective, leave the ceilings, focus on countertops and appliances, run a light value add package, just bring it up to kind of market with the sub-market. We see $300 on average across all the floor plans is the realistic upside here.
Yeah.
You could go out and spend 20 door on it if you wanted to and juice the rents further, but candidly, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
And getting a $300 lift is pretty great in and of itself.
Yeah, we probably would. I mean, we would do whatever we could do minimally to bring it up a little bit and raise rents. This one, how big is this unit?
This one is 650 square feet, I believe.
Okay.
Something else to look at, so breaker boxes in the 70s product, I always tell people to look at. This unit has GE appliances. There's a couple units here that still have stab lock breakers, so would highly recommend replacing those on the remaining units.
Do you think they need to be right now though, or just?
Just from an insurance perspective, it would probably be beneficial. I mean, you don't have to, but you're going to get hit with higher insurance premiums.
Your rent will sits on $950, right?
For the effective rents are $922, and $950 might be the average of the studios and the one bedrooms. This is one of the one bedroom floor plans, so this one should be about. Most of the studios are around $900, $950, and then most of the one bedrooms they're marketing at around $1,050.
They all look, every unit pretty much just like this.
Yeah, everything's gonna be a little bit different, right? Because there's not a coordinated business plan. So like the floors will be a little different, the appliances. One might, we've got white and stainless steel. The next one we walk into might be both black. It's just kind of a hodgepodge.
And then some have central air and some don't? Or
They all do. There's a couple window units in, but I've been told that the tenants themselves put those in. Yeah. This property is about 1,200 below what you would pay to live in Mueller. So there's a huge delta between the B and C class product in this neighborhood and the A class product in Mueller. And what we've seen is, all right, if you keep an $800-900 gap between what they're charging for their floor plans there, for the new stuff, versus the 70s, 80s stuff here, people will be very willing to live in this neighborhood. I mean, I think resting occupancy in this neighborhood is sitting at 94-95% today. So occupancy is great. It's, I think what's important in, lower income neighborhoods or lower rent neighborhoods, let's call it, in Austin, is just making sure that you're qualifying tenants and getting good tenants in. We saw a lot of people, especially with kind of the backlog of COVID, where there was the eviction moratorium, a bunch of people not paying rent. They've gone through a ton of evictions of this property over the course of the last 6 months. I think they had 10 or 12 people that they evicted within the last year that were just holdovers from the eviction moratorium. All the courts were backed up. It was taking, it was like California time, trying to get people out of units that weren't paying rent. Fortunately now we've kind of got the stabilization, and it's down to a 90-day process to get somebody out if they're not paying rent. But there was a while there where guys were stuck for 5-6 months trying to get people out because we had such a backlog of evictions in the city of Austin. Ownership hasn't really been motivated to put any money into the property.
Right.
He did the courtyard.
Yeah, that looks good.
The courtyard looks good. He's maintaining things. He's turning units, but he doesn't have any motivation to go in and run a value add strategy. That's not what he does. It's not something he has a ton of experience in, and he'd rather sell the property a little bit cheaper and leave it to somebody else to go in and do that. Somebody who knows how to run a value add strategy, which I think kind of fits y'all's bucket pretty well. So what we're recommending, all in expense, interior and exterior combined, call it about $10,000 a unit. And that includes, I would put some money into the parking lot. I'm sure driving in, y'all felt a couple bumps. Like that's the first thing people see when they come in. It's the first thing you feel when you drive into Toro when you're looking at a place to live.
Yeah.
And if you're driving over a pothole, you've already got a bad taste in your mouth before you even walk into a unit. So I would look at the parking lot. The roof is approaching 20 years in age. They just did some work up on it. I've talked to the management team about it. They said that they don't have leak issues, but just knowing Austin and knowing roofs, been doing this a while, once you get up to about the 20-year mark, you start to see problems. So I'm sure there's some preventative maintenance that can be done there. They definitely should. I'd imagine they'd go in and do some patchwork on it.
New blinds. And then this one, they're gonna try and rent out for 8, 9.
Yeah, around 900 for the studios. So we've got a pretty good idea of where rents are, where prices are. But yeah, this is, similar story, right? Like kind of white appliances. Some work could be done on the floors, the countertops are Formica, but then they've done things like they put in new ceiling fans and new blinds. This is a nice ceiling fan, but there's not really like a cohesive value add plan that they're running here.
And what's on sale at home? So.
Yeah. What's on sale or what's left over from my development projects.
Yeah, or that.
All right, perfect. Put that in.
Right. Cool. And so all upstairs is the studios?
They're spread out. I believe like the 1 bedrooms will be stacked and the studios will be stacked.
Gotcha.
There's two micro studios as well. You'll see those.
200 square feet?
Yeah, they're 275.
What?
Yeah.
What is
That's it. Yeah. They'll probably end up keeping that.
So same floor plan as we were just in.
Yeah.
But again, kind of hodgepodge appliances.
Yep.
Similar story.
They've done everything else. When you drive up, it does look nice, aside from the parking lot and maybe sign.
Yeah, so those would be, from an exterior perspective, those are the two things. And then, like I said, I would recommend putting some money aside for the roofs. But, you know, outside of that, it's fine property. If I were to guess, I haven't interviewed the tenants, but if I were to guess, that would probably be the most common occupation.
And you recommend if we put 10,000 per unit to upgrade it, what do you think we can get rent from 900 to 1,050 or what? Because it's still, some of the comps around here shows that we're at market or higher than others for dollars per square foot.
Yeah, dollars per square foot, because the average unit size here is small, the per square foot rents are always going to be high. But people are more interested in this neighborhood, I think, looking at chunk rents, right? And saying, all right, how much am I... Like, when you're a tenant in a B or C class neighborhood, you're not saying, well, let me calculate my per square foot rent.
Yes.
Right? You're looking at, all right, how much is my monthly rent? What's the chunk rent? And so we see about, if you charge, call it, we're at $922 on average. We see, what would that, somewhere between $12 and $12.50 being the post-renovated rent for this property. And that's $100 below, $50 to $100 below the other post-renovated product because the units are smaller. So you're still, on a chunk rent perspective, going to be $50 or $100 below.
Well, we appreciate it. I'll report back to Matt, let him know, and then you know, we're buying right now. Everybody here, all investors, you know, with this one we probably raise capital from everyone here, buy this together. Could buy it with our fund, but we're looking for other ones as well. So
cool. Well, good deal. I appreciate y'all coming out and walking it. I'm sure y'all will have some follow-up questions. I think you had one on remaining evictions, so I'll get an answer for you on that. And if y'all come up with anything throughout the rest of the week, don't hesitate to reach out, and happy to get an answer for y'all.
cool.
What'd you get them down to, Alex?
They're at 4.3 right now.
And
Chat about this at 4?
Yeah, let's do that.